Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to find and enrich people using Clay and then how to sync these people into Attio via Google Sheets using Whalesync. There isn't a native integration between Clay and Attio just yet, so I think this is a pretty clean workaround. You can also of course use Zapier or Relay, for example, to integrate Clay and Attio, but I'm going to show you how to do this with Google Sheets and Whalesync. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm in Clay now, and I'm going to start by finding and enriching people. Company attributes, I'm just going to target people that work at consumer goods companies between 11 and 50 employees. Job title, I will do Vice President of Marketing, Chief Marketing Officer, and then Chief Revenue Officer. And then location, I'm going to do United States and Canada. And then profile, I think this is a pretty neat feature, especially if you're just looking to target people that are actually active on LinkedIn. And so I'm going to do number of connections, minimum 1,000. And I'm going to limit my results to 50, limit per company. Especially given I'm targeting smaller companies and I'm only targeting a couple of titles, I don't want to, blast the entire company. So I'm going to click on preview. Okay, looks good. I'm going to click on next. I'll probably just enrich work email, and this is a waterfall enrichment. So it's going to pull from several sources in order to find a good, valid email. And you can see it's already working its magic. And then once it does find a valid email, it will show up here in this column. And I started with 10 rows, as you could see. And I always suggest just starting with 10 rows just to make sure that the data is actually what you're looking for before you go ahead and spend, a bunch of credits. Okay, so all done now. We have our work emails for all the rows. I just went ahead and ran the rest. I'm just going to go ahead and hide some of these because I just want this table to look a little bit cleaner. Okay, and then the next thing that I'm going to do is I just want to enrich some of the company data. So I have company domain here, but I do want to have a company name column. So I'm going to go to Actions, Enrich Company. 1 second here. Yeah. Oh yeah. That was right. Okay, so company name, I don't need the website again, and I don't really need the exact employee count. As long as I know that the company has between roughly 11 to 50 employees, that's fine with me. So I'm going to save and run 10 rows. Okay, looks good. So I'm just going to go ahead and run the rest. Okay, so now I'm going to export this into a Google Sheet. So export to databases, Google Sheets, add row, and my Google Sheets account is already connected. If yours is not, you will have to do that first. I'm going to go to my Google spreadsheet URL and copy link, and you can see I already have these columns here set up, and these columns basically match the columns here as well. And then I only want people in my Google Sheets. Basically, I just want to sync over data from here into my Google Sheets if the person has a work email. So if this is empty, I don't really want them to sync over to my Google Sheets. And now you can see rows are being added, and if I go into my Google Sheets, I can see that as well. Okay, so all the data has synced over. You can see here, row added, and these rows were added here. Now I'm just gonna quickly prepare this sheet for Whalesync. So I'm going to add a Whalesync ID column. And you don't really need to do that because Whalesync does prompt you to do so anyways, but why not? And I'm gonna have company name here. Paste. Okay, great, company name, and then company domain. Paste. Then I'm going to have related people as a column. And get rid of this here. And this is going to be called related companies. And now let's get started with our sync. And now, of course, you can always just export this as a CSV and import it into Attio. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, it's a little bit more of a manual process. But I wanted to show you how to do it with Whalesync, especially if you have a larger set of data or if you're going to be updating this data in Google Sheets or you're going to continuously add to this sheet here, then I think this is a great way to go about it. So I'm just going to select New Sync. Attio is the data source. Yep. Confirm. Continue. Google Sheets. And also something to remember when you're syncing over to Attio is that it has a name column, not necessarily a first and a last name column. And Clay also had a full name column, which I could have just synced over, but I totally forgot about that point. So I just went back into my Google Sheet and basically combined these two columns into this column. So pretty easy to do. Okay, so now name, and then job title. I could just see it here. Job title, LinkedIn profile. Great. And then what else am I missing? Work email. So great. Now company. So when you see this icon here in Whalesync, this means a relational field. And again, I explained that in my previous video. Okay, so company. Great. And now I'm going to continue. Scan records. And it's looking for records. Great. So now I'm in people, and this is the Whalesync ID. I need to go into companies, and you know what? Let me do it this way. Copy. Okay. And now same thing with the companies sheet. Need to go to related companies, and that's how it makes the relation between these people and these companies. Oh, sorry, I keep going to Clay. Okay, continue. Preparing preview. Yep, looks good. Activate sync. Confirm. Okay, so you can see that the data from the Google Sheets has synced over into Attio, which is great. Something else you can do is have a column in your Google Sheet or your CSV file, for example, and just have a column for like lead source or something along those lines so you can identify where you found these people. Or you can just simply sync them over into Attio and then bulk edit and create that column or attribute. So that way you can have different views within your people instead of just having or like dumping all of them into just one view. I think this is a very good workaround for not having a native integration between Clay and Attio. And you can just keep adding to that Google Sheet because that Google Sheet is now synced here, and you can just keep adding to that sheet so that your people, your companies, your leads are automatically being synced over into Attio. So you don't have to go through that whole setup process again, which is pretty sweet. Hope you found this video helpful. There are several ways to sync data from Clay into Attio, even without that native integration, but I think this is one pretty easy, straightforward way to do so. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like these videos. If you have questions, feel free to leave a comment. And if you feel like you need one-on-one help, then feel free to schedule an intro call with me. My link and contact info is in the description. Thanks for watching.